Okay, good evening, everyone. Good morning. Good evening, brothers and sisters of the Dhamma. Tonight we're going to have an online Dhamma sharing by Sayalay Susila. And the title of the sharing will be The Path to Arahantship and Sammasambuddha. Any difference? Okay, by the way, tonight is the first talk for the online Dhamma sharing. We're going to have the second talk on the 31st March, and the title of the talk will be the 10 Paramis, Requisites to Sammasambuddha. So don't forget to join us then too. Okay. Let me introduce Venerable Sayalay Susila. Venerable Sayalay Susila is the founder and abbess for the Appamāda Viharī Meditation Center. Sayalay is an unusually accomplished teacher as a result of her breadth of exposure and depth of practice of various meditation methods taught by renowned teachers like Venerable Pa'ok Sayadaw, Tuomin Sayadaw, Mogok Sayadaw, Sayagi, Yubakin, and Yonka. Sayalay is also well known for her gift to teach and present the profound Dhamma with vividness, precision, and clarity. Her teaching and emphasis on practicing the discourse of the four foundations of mindfulness is very much appreciated by students globally. Sayalay is also the author of many books published in both English and Chinese. Her well-known book, English book, is Unraveling the Mystery of Mind and Body through Abhidhamma. Okay, and there is also the Chinese version, and the title is as that. Sorry, I don't really understand Chinese, so I can't read that. Okay, other books published in English includes The Path of Happiness, Inner Explorations, Contemplation of Feelings, Dhamma Essence Series, The 9 Attributes of the Buddha. Okay? And there are a lot of Chinese books as well that are being published. You can refer to the website, AVMC website. The link is given here. I think it's not shown fully. Okay, but yeah, there you can find the whole list of all the English and the Chinese publications. Many are in ebooks form, and you can just go ahead and download them. And at the same time, there are a lot of Dhamma talks in the website as well. Okay, most of the talks are by Sayalay Susila. Okay, so without much delay, I guess I should pass the mic to Sayalay Susila.
Okay, so before I Suki Hontu, sisters and brothers in the Dhamma, before I start my talk, my sharing, usually we will pay respect to the Buddha first by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Samahanta Chakkavalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Santamang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakamo Kadang Dhamma Sawana Kalo Ayang Badanda Dhamma Sawana Kalo Ayang Badanda Dhamma Sawana Kalo Ayang Badanda Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammaha Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammaha Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammaha Sambuddhassa. Okay, today's talk, the title of today's talk is The Path to Arahantship, or we call it Savaka Body, and Sammasambuddha. Any differences? Okay, first we need to know what is body. because there are two ways. One is Sammasambuddha, one is Sāvaka body, right? Then what is the meaning of body? Body, which means awakening or enlightenment. So body refers to the four path knowledges attained through the realization of the Four Noble Truths. Whether it's Sammasambuddha or Sāvaka body. That body has to be attained through the realization of the Four Noble Truths. Just like when Buddha become enlightened under Bodhi tree, then he expounded Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Is all about the Four Noble Truths. Because Buddha realized, become Arahant and Sammasambuddha through the realization of the Four Noble Truths. Okay, then let me go through very fast about Four Noble Truths, because everybody knows as a Buddhist, as an advanced Buddhist, everybody knows what is Four Noble Truths. Okay, number one is Noble Truth of suffering. What is the Noble Truth of suffering? In short, 5 aggregates of clinging is the Noble Truth of suffering. Then, what is the Noble Truth of origin of suffering? It's the craving for sensual pleasures or craving for existence. This is the Noble Truth of origin of suffering. Then what is the Noble Truth of cessation of suffering? Since the craving is the origin of suffering, then the cessation of craving or destruction of craving is the Noble Truth of cessation of suffering. And the Noble Truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering is Noble Eightfold Path, can be summarized as threefold training of Sila, Samadhi, Panya, or can be summarized again into Vipassana and Samatha. And what the Vipassana need to focus? The Vipassana need to focus on the 5 aggregates and try to see their impermanent, anicca, dukkha, anatta, in order to let go of craving, which is the origin of suffering. So when one practice Vipassana, one try to see the 3 characteristics of 5 aggregates and see more and more until one let go the attachment of them. This is called the Noble Truth of the path, leading to the cessation of suffering. Then once the disciple, once the practitioner attain body or enlightenment, and this enlightenment can be divided into 4 path knowledges. Number 1 is path knowledge of stream entry, we call Sotapanna Magga. Magga is called path knowledge. Then the path knowledge of one's returning, Sagadagami Magga, and path knowledge of non-returning, Anagami Magga, path knowledge of Arahantship, Arahanta Magga. So when we talk about a body enlightenment, this enlightenment is divided by these 4. Then you may ask, why is divided by these 4? What is the difference among these 4 path knowledges? The differences lie in their power. Because each path knowledge has the power to eradicate related deformance. So the path knowledge if we see the body itself, the body itself, the path of knowledge has the power to eradicate defilements. Then why it's divided into four? Sotapan, Anagami, Sakadagami, Anagami, or Arahant path knowledge. Because each path knowledge eradicates its related defilements. Okay, then what are the defilements they eradicated? Okay, let's see. According to Sutta Pitaka, there are 10 sangyojana, 10 fetters, or called defilements, to eradicate. So the first path knowledge, we call path knowledge of stream entry, Sotapanna, eradicates a belief in a self, called Sakaya Ditti. For easy to understand, this belief in a self is belief in an atta. The atta is like unchanging, permanent soul that migrate from one life to another life. So once you Sotapanna, path knowledge of stream entry, eradicate belief in a self, or called Sakaya Ditti, this person, this noble one, will never believe that there is eternal soul that migrate from one life to another life. He will not see that eternal soul anymore. Okay? Then the second is doubt. When you talk about doubt, it's doubt about the triple gems. He doesn't have the doubt about the attainment of Buddha. He doesn't doubt about the Noble Eightfold Path is the only path towards body, towards enlightenment. And he doesn't doubt about Sangha. He believes there is Sangha who walk the Noble Eightfold Path and to become enlightened. To this, he has no doubt. So when talk about doubt, it's the doubt about triple gem. Then the three, attachment to rights and riches, Silabata, Paramasa. When we talk about this, because this noble one, Sotapan, he himself has walked the Noble Eightfold Path and become enlightened. Therefore, he does not believe in any other rights and riches that can bring him towards enlightenment, except Noble Eightfold Path. He may still perform some riches. For example, Chinese culture. He may perform like for Hokkien, at a 9 day, they may still pay. They still offer food to the gods, to the Ten Gong Saka. Okay, they may still perform some cultural things, but in his mind, he just follow the culture. He does not have the idea, or he does not have the thought that cultural thing will lead him to Nibbana. Okay, so attachment to rights and riches, he eradicate that attachment to rights and riches and thinking that will bring him to Nibbana. So only he believe only in Noble Eightfold Path. Okay. So these are the three factors that are eradicated by path knowledge of stream entry. Then once he practiced further, he attained path knowledge of one's returning, Sakadagami. So this path knowledge of one's returning is not so strong. Therefore, it does not eradicate any defilements. It only weakens sensual desire, kama chanda, and ill will or anger, Appamāda or dosa. Okay. And path knowledge of non-returner, number 3. This is very powerful path knowledge because it permanently eradicates sensual desire in the Kamachanda in the sensual world. But he still have desire to be reborn in material world and immaterial world. Okay? And it also permanently eradicate ill will, dosa. Therefore, this path knowledge of non-returner, it does not return to this sensual anymore. It's very powerful path knowledge. So the last one, the path knowledge of arahantship, eradicates the lust for rebirth in material realm because he eradicates all lust. So no more, he does not long for reborn in material realm, rupa raga. Our world is divided. We call it one chakrawala. 31 plane of existence is divided into 3. One is called sensual world. Then above is called material world. Then the uppermost is called immaterial world. So for this Arahant, completely eradicate lust for rebirth in material world and in immaterial world. Rupa raga and arupa raga. And Arahant also completely eradicate conceit, mana. Because this conceit is very difficult to tackle. Everybody got this conceit. Sometimes we don't even know when conceit is in our mind. Then the restlessness. So only Arahant know restlessness. The last one is ignorant. Ignorant of Four Noble Truths. He completely cut off that ignorant about the Four Noble Truths. Okay, therefore the body, there are four body. Sotapan, we call the path of stream enterer, the path of one's returner, the path of non-returner, and the path of arahantship. So each path has its own power to eradicate its related deformance. Okay. Then now we come to 3 types of body. So number 1 is called supreme self-enlightenment. We call Sammasambuddha. Number 2 is private Buddha enlightenment. We call Pacceka body or solitary enlightenment. And this number 2 is not we are not going to discuss here because we just want to discuss the difference between Sammasambuddha and the last one, disciples enlightenment, Sāvaka body. Okay, so disciples enlightenment, we call enlightenment from hearing. Because this Sāvaka body, they only can be enlightened by hearing the Dhamma, hearing the teaching preached by the Buddha during Buddha's time. But nowadays, they preach by any monastics. Therefore, it's called enlightenment from hearing. I mean, hearing the Dhamma preaching is essential for Sāvaka body to become enlightened. But this does not happen to Supreme Self-Enlightenment. Supreme Self-Enlightenment, they can enlighten by themselves, by themselves without hearing to Dhamma talk. Okay, so these are 3 types of body: supreme self-enlightenment, Sammasambuddha, Pacceka body, and Sāvaka body. So hope you understand the differences. Okay. Now let's go to 3 types of future Buddhas. No. You may confuse it. only one Buddha, how come we got 3 types of future Buddhas? Because the Buddha, once the Bodhisattva become Buddha, there are 3 ways for him to become the Buddha. Therefore, we say 3 types of future Buddha, or called Bodhisattva before become Buddha. So number 1 is wisdom predominant Bodhisattva, Panyadika. So this is from Buddha Wangsa, not from the information that I provided to you is from Buddha Wangsa, not from Sutta, not from the Five Nikaya. Okay. And this Buddha Wangsa is this Buddha Wangsa is additional, is added later. If I'm not mistaken, is added into Khuddaka Nikaya. And it's an additional, it's a later addition to the Khuddaka Nikaya. So in this Buddha Wangsa, they divided Bodhisattva into three types of Bodhisattva. One is called wisdom predominant Bodhisattva, Panyadika. Another one is called faith predominant Bodhisattva, Saddhadika. The third one is energy predominant Bodhisattva, Viharī. So when they become the Buddha, there's only one Buddha, right? But this Buddha this Bodhisattva may become Buddha through wisdom. Another one may become Buddha through faith. Another one may become Buddha through energy. Therefore, it's divided into 3. But once you become Buddha, it's only one Buddha. Okay, let us see what are the difference between these 3 Bodhisattva. Okay, the first one is called wisdom predominant Bodhisattvas. This Bodhisattva excels in wisdom, therefore it's called wisdom predominant. His wisdom is very powerful, very strong, very predominant. So in every endeavor to become the Bodhisattva, to become the Buddha, wisdom is his head. Therefore, it's called leading with insight. And after cultivating the paramis across 4 asankhya and 100,000 great eons, they will attain Buddhahood. So in order to become the wisdom predominant Bodhisattva, and in order to become the Buddha, wisdom predominant Bodhisattva need to cultivate the parami across 4 asankhya and 100,000 great kappa eons. And this is the shortest time for all Bodhisattva, because wisdom is more important. So if this Bodhisattva use the wisdom to become enlightened, then his time is shortest among the 3 Bodhisattva. Number 2 is called the faith predominant Bodhisattva. And this faith predominant Bodhisattvas are distinguished by their faith. For this kind of Bodhisattva, faith is more crucial than wisdom. His wisdom is weak, but his faith, saddha, is very strong. Thus, they are referred to as faith predominant Bodhisattva. And since their cultivation of the various paramis is guided by faith rather than wisdom, they are unable to attain Buddhahood after 4 Asankhya, Kappas, and 100,000 great eons, Mahakappa. But must instead do so after 8 Asankhya, Kappas, and 100,000 great eons. So his time spent for cultivating paramis in order to become Buddha is double than wisdom predominant bodhisattvas, because his wisdom is not as sharp as wisdom predominant bodhisattva. Therefore, he has to take longer time. Okay, the last one is called energy predominant bodhisattvas. The energy predominant bodhisattva, we call Viryadika, rely solely on their vigorous effort, which neither wisdom nor faith being their principal guide. So their wisdom not so strong, faith not so strong, but Virya is very strong. They adhere to energy and effort to achieve Buddhahood. Hence, in the practice of the parami, of the 10 paramis, in order to become Buddha, they prioritize energy above all, resulting in attainment of Buddhahood only after 16 Asankhya, Kappas, and 100,000 Mahakappa, are called great eons. So the time he takes, the time for energy predominant bodhisattvas takes even longer than wisdom predominant bodhisattva, and longer than faith predominant bodhisattva. Double than the faith predominant bodhisattva. Therefore, it takes 16 Asankhya, Kappas, and 100,000 great eons. And if I ask you, our Gautama Buddha, and during our time, now our Buddha is called Gautama Buddha. Gautama Buddha takes how long to become Buddha? Gautama Buddha takes only 4 Asankhya and 100,000 Kappa, because our Gautama Buddha is wisdom predominant bodhisattvas. So when our Gautama Buddha practiced 10 parami, because his wisdom, he excels in wisdom, and everything he did, wisdom is the guide. Therefore, it takes shortest time. That's 4 Asankhya and 100,000 Kappa to become Buddha. Okay, so these are the 3 bodhisattva. Now we come to Sawaka Bodhi. Just now is Sammasambuddha. How to become Sammasambuddha? There are 3 types, right? Now we come to disciples enlightenment. Number 1 is called chief disciple, Aga Sawaka. In every whatever Buddha they appear in the world, any Buddha will have two chief disciples, Aga Sawaka. So each Buddha has 2 chief disciples, similar to Venerable Sariputta and Venerable Moggallana for Gautama Buddha. It's a must, because these 2 chief disciples, because Aga Sawaka played an important role to help Buddha to propagate Buddha's teaching. Okay. Number 2 is called great disciple, Mahasavaka. Like the Iti, usually we have in each Buddha had Iti, 0 Mahasavaka. So like the Iti great disciple during the time of the Gautama Buddha. So do you know who are they? For example, Mahakassapa is great disciple, Mahasavaka. Gautami, Bhikkhuni Gautami, Buddha's son Rahula, Anuruddha, Ananda, Bahiya, all these are called Mahasavaka. So all they have Iti. Okay. Number 3 is called ordinary disciple, Pakati Savaka. So ordinary disciple refer to the Arahants other than the above mentioned. Exclude chief disciple and great disciple, the rest are called ordinary disciple, Pakati Savaka. So we have 3 types of Savaka body. One is called Agasavaka, chief disciple. The second is called Mahasavaka, great disciple. And the last one is called Pakati Savaka. Okay. Okay. Duration required for Savaka body. Just now we know to become Buddha, to become Sammasambuddha, some takes 4 Asankhya and 100,000 kappa, some takes 8 Asankhya and 100,000 kappa, some takes 16 Asankhya and 100,000 kappa. How about to become Savaka body, to attain Savaka body? How long it needs? Okay. For future, if you want to become the future chief disciple, you want to become like Mahamoggallana and Sariputta. One is foremost in wisdom, one is foremost in psychic power. Then you need to cultivate the parami for the duration of 1 Asankhya and 100,000 great eons. This is a difference. To become Sammasambuddha and to become some Savaka body, this is a different time, time duration, time required is different. Okay. But if you, let's say you don't want to become chief disciple, you just want to become great disciple in the future, then you need to cultivate the paramis for 100,000 great eons only. To become Rahula, to become Yasodhara, to become Ananda, or to become Mahakassapa in future Buddha. Then you need to cultivate parami for 100,000 Mahakappa. Okay, the last one, the period for future ordinary disciple. Maybe now, you just want to become the ordinary disciple, you don't want to become Aga, Savaka, you don't want to become great disciples, you just want to become ordinary Arahant. So how long, how much time is needed? It's not mentioned in the scriptures, but it's definitely less than 100,000 great eons. It can be, just 1 eon, I don't know, since it's not mentioned in the scriptures. So for nowadays, Buddha has entered into Parinibbana long time ago. So nowadays, in the present day, there's no future disciples. There's no there's no chief disciples, and there's no great disciples. What exists in the present day is only ordinary disciples. So you may heard, oh, somebody become Arahant, those who stay in the forest practice on, oh, become Arahant. All these are called ordinary disciples. Whoever attain Arahant after Buddha or after chief disciple, and after that period, after Mahaparinibbana of Buddha and chief disciple and chief disciple and great disciple. After that period, the rest are all ordinary disciples. So from here, you can understand that, during Buddha's time, some people, they listen to Dhamma talk and immediately become enlightened, right? For example, Bahiya. Bahiya, they listen to Buddha's talk and on the spot become Arahant. And he was declared the foremost in fastest to attain Arahant. So Bahiya is great disciples. So when we read the sutta, we may think, wow, just listen to talk, one can become Arahant. Then we also think that maybe we can. We don't need to meditate, no need to practice. Then we can just wishing that we can, by listening to talk, and become enlightened. But from here, you come to understand, great disciple need to cultivate the parami for 100,000 great eons. So those who have cultivated the paramis for 100,000 great eons, their parami already matured. Just wait for the Buddha to appear and listen to Buddha's teaching and can immediately become Arahant. So we, as a practitioner, should not only see their result, their fast result. We should not forget they have cultivated the parami for 100,000 eons or less than that, if they are ordinary disciples. Okay. So here I would like to talk a little bit the significance of Sāvaka body. Although the appearance of the Sammasambuddha is so important, without body, without the appearance of Sammasambuddha or Sammasambuddha, they will never have Sāvaka body, right? But after Buddha and Agasavaka, after Buddha and great disciple or chief disciple passed into Parinibbana, then the ordinary disciple play a very important role to preserve the teaching of the Buddha. During Buddha's time, yes, Buddha and Mahamoggallana and Sariputta and some of the chief disciples like Mahakassapa, and Anuruddha and so on, Ananda, they play a very important role to preserve the teaching of the Buddha, to preach the teaching of the Buddha, to let the Buddha Sasana to be continued. But after they pass away, then the ordinary disciple become very important to preserve the teaching of the Buddha until now, after 2,600 years ago. they combine all the teaching of Buddha, then they, they recite together, then finally, they write it down on a palm leaf until now. Everything is in, even in a, electronic book, and so on, in a computer, and everything is well preserved now. All these are due to the effort of ordinary disciples. This is the reason why, we should pay respect to the triple gem. One of the gem is monastics, because they spend their life, spend their time to learn the Buddha's teaching and to preach and to write down and to teach others, so that the teaching of Buddha can be preserved until now. This is the significance of ordinary Sāvaka. Okay. Next. Just now we have talked about whether one want to become Sammasambuddha, or want to become Sāvaka body. They have to practice paramis. They have to practice 10 paramis. The difference is the time frame is the different. So what is this parami? What are paramis? Paramis are those noble qualities based on great compassion and the skillful means in performing good deeds, such as generosity, morality, determination, wisdom, and etc. So paramis are the noble qualities. For the Buddha, when they practice parami, that parami must based on Mahakaruna, great compassion for the welfare of all sentient beings, and the skillful means. Skillful means is the wisdom. So all the paramis for Sammasambuddha are practiced based on the great compassion and wisdom. Okay, and this quality, all the quality, noble qualities, must be untainted by craving, conceit, and wrong views. Unlike the ordinary person, sometimes they perform Dhamma, right? When they perform Dhamma, they crave for reborn in the Deva realm. Therefore, their Dana, their generosity is tainted by craving to be reborn in Deva realm. But for Sammasambuddha, when he practiced this 10 parami, he does not wish, his only wish is to become Sammasambuddha, so that he has the power to help all sentient beings to cross the ocean of birth and death. This is only his aim. Therefore, when he performed all the 10 paramis, his action is not tainted by craving, and is not tainted by conceit. Say that, oh, I sacrifice my life for others, so I become conceited. No, all his sacrifice is only for the attainment of Sammasambuddha, with the aim to help other people. And also his action is not tainted with wrong view that I am, no. Because his only aim is to become Sammasambuddha. for the purpose, for the benefit of others. And then this is called paramis. Okay. So there are 10 paramis. There are 10 paramis, but in Mahayana teaching, only 6 parami. But according to Buddha Vamsa, there are 10 paramis. So what are the 10 paramis? Number 1 is generosity, dana. Number 2, morality, sila. We are very familiar with these two, right? And we practice these two also almost every day. Number 3 is called renunciation, nekkamma. Nekkamma. Renunciation doesn't mean that to become monastic. When Buddha practiced his when he practiced bodhisattva before become Buddha, not every life he become monastic. No. Therefore, renunciation doesn't mean that to become monk or to become nun. No, renunciation means renounce the sensual enjoyment. How to renounce sensual enjoyment? By practicing concentration. When you practice concentration, you overcome, or you have to call the 5 hindrances are overcome. So especially the enjoyment for sensual, a desire through the 6 sense spaces, through the eyes, want to see beautiful things, want to hear sweet words, the tongue want to taste delicious food, the body want to touch, soft touch or opposite sex touch, and so on. And so when one enter into jhana or concentration, one renounce the enjoyment of sensual desire. This is also called renunciation. Therefore, renunciation doesn't mean to become monk and nun, but to practice, to abandon the sensual enjoyment is called renunciation. Number 3 is wisdom. So wisdom can cover many aspects, right? We got wisdom from hearing, wisdom from thinking, Cinta Maya Sutta, and wisdom from meditation, Bhavana, Bhavana Maya Panya. So there are different types of wisdom. Number 5 is energy, Viharī. Number 6 is patience, Khanti. So when Sammasambuddha, when Bodhisattva practice Bodhisattva, practice 10 parami, many lifetimes he got to endure the suffering afflicted by other people. Although his aim as a Bodhisattva, his aim is to become Buddha so that he can help all sentient beings. But before he become Buddha, he got to endure a lot of hardship, a lot of suffering afflicted by others. And these others, these people are the people who want to help when he become Buddha, right? So without this patience, one cannot walk the Buddhahood. Then the truthfulness, satya. So he practiced of not telling lies, only telling the truth, including keeping one's promise. Therefore, when Sammasambuddha, when the Bodhisattva becomes Sammasambuddha, the words he uttered is very beautiful, almost like talking to you. So you may be among the all audience listen to Buddha's preaching. Buddha preached to, let's say, to 1,000 people. But the voice can reach you, or those Buddha is preaching to you, is so pleasant. Because of this truthfulness that he practiced for asankaya and 100,000 kappa for so long. And number 8 is determination, adhitthana. So no matter whatever hardship he endure, he has unshakable determination to walk until he become Sammasambuddha. This is called determination. Then number 9 is loving kindness, which we understand well. Then equanimity. So Buddha also had to, Bodhisattva, even as a Savaka body, we also have to practice equanimity. Equanimity means that whoever praise you, you are unshakable. Whoever blame you, find fault in you, criticize you, you also unshakable. You are not delighted, not very delighted when people praise you. Neither you become depressed when people criticize you. The mind is always equanimous. And this is the most difficult to cultivate. Therefore, it becomes the last parami among the 10 paramis. Okay, so these are 10 parami. Whether you want to become Sammasambuddha or Savaka body, Sammasambuddha or Savaka body, one has to practice 10 paramis to a certain degree. Attainment of Sammasambuddha. Let us see how to become Sammasambuddha. After each type of bodhisattva, each type means we have 3 types, right? So after each type of bodhisattva has perfected the various paramis within their respective time frames, maybe 4 asankaya, or maybe 8 asankaya, or maybe 16, according to their time frames. And they were spontaneously, all these bodhisattvas were spontaneously attain the 4 paths of knowledge. We call Magga Jnana. They cut off all the defilement, right? That thoroughly comprehend the 4 noble truths. So it's by comprehending 4 noble truths, they attain the 4 paths of knowledge. And we already share what are the 4 paths of knowledge. So as well as when he becomes Sammasambuddha, he attained, we call all-knowing wisdom, sabbe nyuta jnana. They can know all things. And this knowledge, sabbe nyuta jnana, is not shared among the disciples. No. Only Buddha, only Bodhisattva when become Sammasambuddha or become enlightenment and become Sammasambuddha, then this sabbe nyuta jnana, all knowing wisdom come together. And they also acquire the limitless and immeasurable attributes of a Buddha, which is unshared among the Savaka body. Then, what is this all-knowing knowledge? Sabbe nyuta jnana, which is unshared, unshared by the Savaka disciple, unshared by Savaka body. All-knowing knowledge we call sabbe nyuta jnana. It is the wisdom that comprehends all things that are worth understanding. For example, he can know the temperature, the temperament. Like this knowledge can know the temperament of disciple. So when Buddha preached when Buddha come face to face with certain disciple, through this sabbe nyuta jnana, he immediately know, okay, what type of meditation subject or what type of Dhamma suitable for him. So if he can preach that type of Dhamma, he can become noble one, even to become Arahant. So this knowledge is not shared by Sariputta, it's not shared by Moggallana. Only Buddha has this type of knowledge, knowing people's temperament. I want to give you an example. For example, during Buddha's time, Sariputta, there's one lay person. In his past life, he had been goldsmith for 500 years. 500 lifetime successfully. He was a goldsmith. So during Buddha's time, he wanted to become monk. And so he learned under Venerable Sariputta. And Venerable Sariputta also can see his past life, right? So he thought, he is a goldsmith for his past life, for so many lifetimes. Then maybe he had a strong attachment to beautiful things, which is not good for his progress. Why not I give him asubha, impurity of the body, for him to contemplate, for him to let go of his craving for beautiful things. So Venerable Sariputta give him the meditation subject on asubha, impurity of the body. And this disciple practiced so hard during the rain retreat for 3 months, but he cannot make any progress. So after 3 months, he feel very depressed, and he thought of want to disrobe. But Sariputta, Venerable Sariputta say, "Oh, no. Let me bring you to go and see my teacher, Buddha. Maybe my teacher can help you." So Venerable Sariputta brought him to see Buddha. And Buddha also knew, of course, his past life. He had been goldsmith for 500 lifetimes. So his inclination, his liking, his mentality likes beautiful things. Beautiful things can make him feel happy and concentrated. Therefore, because Buddha got sabbe nyutayana, which Sariputta didn't have. Therefore, Buddha changed his meditation subject. Instead of asubha, he gave kasina. He create, like why he create one beautiful lotus and asked this disciple to concentrate on the red beautiful lotus, as red. So because beautiful lotus is very, attractive. So this goldsmith, his inclination, his temperament is great temperament. Some dosa, some angry temperament, some great temperament. So his great temperament, so he likes beautiful things. So when he sees this beautiful lotus, he becomes very happy. And as Buddha always say that happiness produces concentration, right? So when his mind becomes happy, then he becomes concentrated. When he becomes concentrated, then he enter into jhana. He can achieve jhana. Then Buddha after achieve jhana, the Buddha makes this lotus flower fading away. So when he sees this fading away, then he immediately realizes impermanence. Impermanent, and what is impermanent is suffering, right? And what is impermanent and suffering cannot be regarded as I am or myself. Then he becomes Arahant. This is called knowledge, Sappayunayana, or knowing knowledge, the knowledge unshared with disciples. Only Buddha got this type of knowledge. So attainment of Savaka body does not correspond correspond with all-knowing knowledge. And this is the difference between attainment of Sammasambuddha and Sāvaka Bodhi. The defilement they eradicate are the same, right? They all become Arahant. Buddha is also Arahant. Sammasambuddha, Sāvaka Bodhi also Arahant. The defilements they eradicated are the same, but Sammasambuddha got all-knowing knowledge, which is not shared by Sāvaka Bodhi. Okay, next one. What are the differences between Sammasambuddha and Sāvaka Bodhi? Okay, for Sammasambuddha, this enlightenment includes both the 4 parts of knowledge. Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahant. It's called 4 parts of knowledge. And 6 supernatural powers. What are the 6 supernatural powers? For example, what are the 6? Diba Chaku, divine eyes. Diba Sota, divine ear. Pube Nivasa Nusati, recollecting of one's past life. Number 4, psychic power can fly in a supernatural power, can fly in the sky. We call Idiveda. Number 5 is Diba Chaku, divine eyes, divine ear, recollecting of one's past life, including others' past life. Not only one's, others' past life. And number 4 is flying in the sky and so on. This is called Idiveda. And okay, number 5 is reading other people's mind. Can read other people's mind. And number 6 is destruction of all taint. Destruction of all taint. So it's 6 supernatural power and all-knowing wisdom. Okay, so the enlightenment of Sammasambuddha includes powers and all-knowing wisdom. Okay, here the perfectly enlightened one does not rely on a teacher, but independently realizes the 4 parts of knowledge that thoroughly comprehend the 4 noble truths. In addition to eradicating mental defilements, as we say in the very beginning, the 4 parts of knowledge have the power to eradicate defilements. So in addition to eradicate the mental defilements, Sammasambuddha also eradicates habitual tendency, vasana, from past life. Some Arahant, Sāvaka Bodhi, like Pininda Vacha, he is Arahant. His Arahantship cannot eradicate the habitual tendency we call vasana. Therefore, his habitual tendency is still intact with him when he become Arahant. In his past life, he was a high caste, Brahmin. So high caste, they are very proud caste. He always called people low caste in his past life. Okay, for many lifetimes he was a Brahmin, so always call people low caste, low caste, low caste. So after he became Arahant, he's still calling people low caste and make people feel very offended sometimes. So when he called people low caste, he has no anger because he has eradicated all anger already. But he did not, his Arahantship did not eradicate habitual tendency. And this habitual tendency comes from past life. Therefore, he remained called people low caste, low caste. sometimes people get very offended by him. Okay. And but for Sammasambuddha, he eradicate all this habitual tendency already. So Buddha is like, I give you an example, like a bottle. Like a bottle, if you put water inside the bottle, then you throw away the water. Then inside the bottle, there's no smell. No smell means no habitual tendency from the past life. But for Arahant, if you take one bottle and put wine inside, when you throw away the wine, alcohol, the bottle remain, you still can smell the smell of alcohol inside the empty bottle. This smell of alcohol is called the habitual tendency. Okay. Now, what is the difference between Sammasambuddha and Savaka-bodhi? For disciples enlightenment, Savaka-bodhi, this enlightenment refers to the realization of the four paths of knowledge, which must rely on the help of a teacher. For Sammasambuddha, no need. By himself, he can become Sammasambuddha without the help of others. But for Savaka-bodhi, he must first listen to Dhamma talk. So when you need to listen to Dhamma talk, then you need the help of a teacher to give you Dhamma talk, right? So this is a difference. And Savaka-bodhi only eradicate mental defilements and does not eradicate habitual tendency from past life, which I have mentioned already. Nor does he include all-knowing wisdom. Sabbayutta-ñāna, no. Sabbayutta-ñāna only belong to Buddha. Some for Savaka-bodhi, some achieve supernatural powers, others not. Like Mahamoggallana, he achieved all supernatural powers, all five mundane supernatural powers. But some Arahant has no supernatural power at all. So some Savaka-bodhi got this supernatural power, some not. But for Sammasambuddha, he had all 6 supernatural powers. And for supreme self-enlightenment, Sammasambuddha, the 4th path knowledge are attained all together at the same time. During our Gautama Buddha time, before he became Buddha, Prince Siddhartha, a Bodhisattva, sit under the Bodhi tree. And when he became the Buddha, he attained the 4 path knowledges all together at the same time. But for Savaka-bodhi, disciples enlightenment, the 4 path knowledges can be attained all together at the same time, like Bahiya. Bahiya, while listening to Buddha's Dhamma talk, he became Arahant. So he attained all 4 path knowledges together, all together at the same time, one after another at different time. For example, even Venerable Sariputta, he attained Sotapan first. Sotapan path knowledge first. After 2 weeks later, he attained, at that time, after 2 weeks later, when he listened to Buddha's Dhamma talk, he attained Sakadagami, Anagami, and Arahant 3 together at one time. Okay? And some attain one after another, even at different lifetimes. For example, Anantapindika. Savaka. Anathapindika, the most generous lay follower, he attains Sotapan only in this lifetime. Then he got 7 lifetime to come. So maybe next lifetime he becomes Sagadagami, then another lifetime he become Anagami, and then another lifetime he become Arahant. So some can attain body at different lifetime. Okay, so these are the difference between Sammasambuddha and Savaka Bodhi. And another difference is different time frame required for enlightenment. Sammasambuddha, longest time frame, and Savaka Bodhi, shorter, as I mentioned before. At any one period or duration of a Buddha Sasana, only one Buddha can be found. But thousands of Arya Savaka, noble Savaka, Savaka body can exist. Only one Buddha, but can be thousands of disciples. So long as the Noble Eightfold Path remains being practiced by followers of the current Buddha, our current Buddha, although passed away, still Gautama, the error of Gautama Buddha. So long the Noble Eightfold Path remain practiced by us, then the next Buddha will not appear in the same words. Until the dispensation of the Buddha disappear from the world. Then we have to wait until next Buddha appear. But so long the teaching of the Buddha still exists, people still walk the Noble Eightfold Path, then the new Buddha, the coming Buddha will not appear in the world. Okay, now we have talked about the differences. Let's see the similarities between Sammasambuddha and Savaka Bodhi. Savaka Bodhi. First, all must cultivate the 10 paramis to varying depths. What are the different to varying depths? Let me see one of the difference of this Dana Parami. Okay, so for Sammasambuddha, he need to practice 3 levels of Dana Parami. For example, what are the 3 levels? Number 1 is called ordinary perfection of Dana Parami. So if he want to become Sammasambuddha, he need to donate material things, both inanimate and animate, including one's spouse and children. He need to give away his property, material property, including also his wife and son. Okay, now I have no time to tell story. There's a Vesantara story, very famous, how he give away his children and his wife. Okay, number 2, superior perfection of Dana Parami, donating one's body parts. So during like Jataka story, one of the person come to ask his eyes. So he will immediately take out his eye to give to them. If someone his limb, he will cut off his limb to give away. It's called donating one's body parts. And the last one is called supreme perfection of Dana Parami, is donating one's life. So in order to become Sammasambuddha, this is the degree, the level you should fulfill. But for Savaka Bodhi, enlightenment, disciples enlightenment, you don't have to donating your life. You don't even have to, donate your spouse, your children, or your bodily parts. It's not mentioned, but I think it's we don't have to do that. But for Sammasambuddha, yes, you have to do that. This we call degree of parami, different level of parami. Okay. So first all must cultivate the 10 parami to different depths. Number two, all must attain the 4 paths of knowledge that thoroughly comprehend the 4 noble truths. And the defilements eradicated by the paths are same. Number three, all must receive a prophetic prediction. Prediction from the Buddha. For example, except for the ordinary disciple. So even if you want to become Sammasambuddha, or you want to become the chief disciples or Mahasavaka or great disciple, you need to receive a prediction from the previous Buddha, from the previous Buddha, to say that, oh, you are in one asankaya and 100,000 kappa, you will become the chief disciple, the right hand chief disciple of certain Buddha. This is called prediction. Or for the great disciple, Mahasavaka, great disciple, also need to receive this prediction from the previous Buddha. Then he will say, the previous Buddha will say, oh, in 100,000 kappa, you will become the one foremost in, or the first one to understand, like Kondanya. You will become the first one to understand the Buddha's teaching and become the noble one, like Kondanya. This is called prediction. But for ordinary disciple, no need this prediction. So these are the similarity between Sammasambuddha and Savaka body. Okay, I think time is very short. I have to speak very fast. Okay, the last one, I will tell this one, before ending this section. So I have explained to you the differences and the similarity between Sammasambuddha and Savaka body, and I also have explained to you what is body, what's the meaning of body, and what different type of bodhisattva and different type of Savaka body, including both Sammasambuddha and Savaka body need to practice 10 paramis. So that much is the discussion that I can provide to you. So now let me end this talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Sayalay, for the very enlightening talk. Okay, sure.
Okay, so I would like to answer the question number 2. I heard from Mahayana. I heard from Mahayana sayings that attain arahantship will still return. Is it so, and why? Okay. Attain arahantship after he entered into Parinibbana, he will not return. So he will not return. To say that attain arahantship and will return to this world is a wrong view. Why the arahantship will never return to this world? So let us see what are the causes, what are the root causes for returning to this world or to reborn. What are the root causes for reborn, for rebirth? So they are greed, hatred, and delusion, right? So greed, hatred, and delusion, these are the 3 poisons. Once Arahant has eradicated has eradicated these three poisons, the root cause for rebirth has been uprooted. No more roots. So if no more roots for a tree, the tree will not grow again. So once the root cause for rebirth is completely uprooted, no rebirth will take place. Another word, Arahant will not return to this world. This is because the teaching of the Buddha is based on cause and effect. If we destroy the cause, then Buddha said, when this exists, according to dependent origination, Buddha said, when this exists, that exists. When this is uprooted, when this does not exist, that does not exist. So when no more deformment, when deformants do not exist, then rebirth will not exist. And if you understand Mahayana, so if you understand Chinese, we say 此生故彼生, 此灭故彼灭. So when the ignorance is completely destroyed, bring the ignorance to cessation, then no more sankhara, no more formation. When no more formation, then no more nama rupa, or another word, no more rebirth. So this is the law of dependent origination. If Arahant after death can come back to the world again, then the law of dependent origination is a lie. It's not true already. If Arahant whom had already destroyed the ignorant, because Buddha said, when ignorance is destroyed, no more rebirth. So if Arahant already destroyed the ignorant and still come back to this world, then what Buddha taught dependent origination are all lies, all false statements. Therefore, if you accept dependent origination is true, then it's not possible to say Arahant will come back to this world. So Arahant will not come back to this world. But if you want to come back to this world, then you don't become Arahant. You become Bodhisattva. You become Bodhisattva and cultivate 10 money until you become Buddha, whom is also Arahant. Then after that, no more coming to this world again. Okay. What is the difference between vasana, habitual tendency, and anusaya? Okay. So if you tell anusaya, I guess you are talking about anusaya kilesa, right? Usually we say anusaya kilesa. Otherwise, we may not tell anusaya. So if you meant to say anusaya kilesa, then it's different from habitual tendency. Habitual tendency, vasana, is not accompanied by any kilesa. But anusaya, if you put kilesa, anusaya is accompanied by kilesa, defilements. So Arahant has vasana, but no anusaya kilesa. This is the difference. Okay.
So the other question here that we have is looking on to Sayalay. May we know how a lay person can live their life towards Sotapanna? What are the do and the don't?
Okay, let me say the do first. If you want to become, as a lay person, you want to become Sotapanna, live your life to become Sotapanna, there are 4 factors you need to be fulfilled. That's mentioned in Samyutta Nikaya, Sotapatti Magga, Sotapatti Samyutta. there are 4 factors. Number 1, associate with the wise. You need to associate with the wise. After associate with the wise, you listen to the true Dhamma from the wise. This is the second factor. Listening the true Dhamma. Listening to true Dhamma from the wise. This is the second factors. The number 3 factor is Yoniso Manasikara, wise attention. What is wise attention? In the commentary, say that the highest wise attention is to attend to things. Attend to your 5 aggregates, or attend to things as impermanent, anicca, dukkha, anatta. Try to see everything, every sankhara as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Try to attention. Try to pay attention to all sankhara, including your 5 aggregate as anicca, dukkha, anatta. This is called wise attention. Number 4 is called practice according to the Dhamma. Practice in accordance with the Dhamma. What is the Dhamma? The Noble Eightfold Path. So these 4 are called factors of stream enterer. Let me repeat. Number 1, associate with the wise. Number 2, listening to true Dhamma. Number 3, wise attention. Try to see all formation as anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanent, suffering, and non-self. And number 4, practice in accordance with the Dhamma, which I summarize it as Noble Eightfold Path. So if you can fulfill, as a layperson, if you can fulfill these 4 factors, then towards the end, you become Sotapanna. Then, what are the don't? Don't mean try not to break 5 precepts. Don't do. Try not to break the 5 precepts. Okay.
Okay, so the next question is, in order to be a Sawaka body, how can we remember to practice the Dhamma in the next life?
So, if you are not a Sotapanna, you may not remember to practice the Dhamma in the next life. Unless you are Sotapanna, Sawaka body, as a Sotapanna, you can remember to practice the Dhamma in the next life. So long you are not Sotapanna, no one can guarantee you can remember. Unless you have during dying moment. Unless during dying moment you have very strong will, want to continue the practice in the next life. Then maybe next life you can remember. Okay, next one. Okay.
So the next question is, Sayalay, if one does not have done enough of good parami, can he still achieve liberation if he strives in meditation in between 7 days to 7 years?
Because as a Sawaka body, ordinary disciple, right? We don't have to practice the 10 parami to very high level. But in the Satipatthana Sutta, Buddha said if you practice 4 foundations of mindfulness, body contemplation, feeling contemplation, mind contemplation, and Dhamma contemplation with effort, and enthusiasm, and with mindfulness, sati sampajana, then you can become enlightened between 7 days to 7 years. This mentioned in Satipatthana Sutta. But nowadays, to become enlightened within 7 days, I think it's not easy, because Buddha gave that talk is to the people who are highly intelligent, right? That is 2,600 years ago. But nowadays, I don't think people can achieve liberation within 7 days. I think we need more days than that. Okay.
Okay, Sayalay, the next question here is, do the path to Arahantship also need to complete the 10 perfections like the Sammasambuddha?
I already mentioned yes, but the different varying degree. They don't have to practice 10 parami as Sammasambuddha, as he wished to become Sammasambuddha. He still have to practice 10 parami, but not so deep as those want to become Sammasambuddha. He still need to practice parami, like dana parami, sila parami, right? Renunciation, if you don't have concentration, you also cannot become Arahant, right? So all these are included in the 10 parami.
Okay, I think there's a good questions from Brother Kawai Weekend. So, Nama Buddhaya, I'm a little curious about the purpose or the point of aiming for Pacceka Buddhahood. Why one might aspire to become a Pacceka Buddha?
I got to ask him because I don't know why they want to become Pacceka Buddha. And I don't know because I never want to become a Pacceka Buddha. I think it's not, I don't think, I'm not sure whether it's mentioned in the Buddha Wangsa or not. Pacceka Buddha is, he doesn't need the help of others. In order to become Pacceka Buddha, he doesn't need to hear the Dhamma talk from others. By his own wisdom, he can become Pacceka Buddha. But however, he cannot preach the Dhamma clearly to people. Unlike like Savaka Bodhi, like Agga Savaka, like Boris Venerable Sariputta, he is able to preach the Dhamma to others. But Pacceka Buddha cannot. So I don't know why also he wants to become a Pacceka Buddha. Next one.
Okay, the next question is there a path of liberations by Amitabha Pure Land by chanting Nami Amrita 4 till getting absorption like in Mahayana Buddhism?
Okay, in the Theravada, this why we have three schools: Mahayana, Vajrayana, and Theravada, right? So in Theravada school, we don't have a path of liberation by Amitabha Pure Land. We don't have that. Yeah. Therefore, we don't chant so Namo Amitabha till get absorption. So since we don't have that school, by chanting Amitabha to get absorption, so I cannot comment, but we don't have that. We practice like Anapanasati according to what sutta, what orthodox sutta mentioned. Because in the five Nikaya, of Theravada, there is no mention at all about Amitabha Pure Land. Therefore, since it's not mentioned in the original text, in the Nikaya, in the Nikaya, therefore no one in Theravada practice this Amitabha Pure Land. Okay, next.
What is the relationship of the three characters you mentioned? That is actually anicca, dukkha, and anatta.
Okay, first I also think what you want to say is anicca, dukkha, anatta, but I feel that it's very how to call it. These two things are not related because three characteristics, three marks of existence, we call three common characteristics. And these 10 factors samyojana are completely two different things. Therefore, first, I don't get this one. Okay, anyway, relation, okay. The 10 factors of samyojana, they are also impermanent. If you want to say the relation, then I would like to tell you these 10 factors of samyojana, like Sakaya Ditti, the belief in the self, doubt, anger, and conceit, so on. They are also anicca, dukkha, anatta. These 10 factors of samyojana are also impermanent. They are also suffering because when they arise in you, you suffer, right? And they are also not belong to oneself. These 10 factors, samyojana, that do not belong to oneself. They are conditional dhamma. They arise due to condition. Therefore, they are impermanent. Therefore, they are dukkha. Therefore, they are non-self. This is the relation between three characteristics, character of existence, and 10 samyojana. Okay, next.
Mr. Jolie, dear Sayalay, will Maitreya Buddha achieve Buddhahood via wisdom, faith, or energy?
Oh, that I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know whether it's mentioned by the Gautama Buddha or not. Maybe in Buddha Vangsa, if I read the whole book, maybe I can answer. But so far, I do not know whether he achieved Buddhahood through wisdom, faith, or energy. I'm sorry for that.
Okay, so the next question is, if a person who vowed to be a Sammasambuddha decided to switch to strive for arahantship, does he have to make a new vow or aspirations in a certain way?
Okay, good question. Better know. So if you make a vow to become Sammasambuddha in the future, and you have not yet received prediction, definite prediction from previous Buddha, you only make a vow to become a Sammasambuddha, and yet you do not receive any definite prediction from the previous Buddha, then anytime you can switch to strive for arahantship. But if you already become, if you already receive a definite prediction from previous Buddha, and you already become the real bodhisattva, the real one. The real one means already received the prediction from previous Buddha. Then you cannot shift, you cannot switch to strive for arahantship anymore. So if you strive now, let's say you not yet receive any prediction, and you want to make a vow, you have to make a new vow. Yes, you make a new vow so that your mind can incline towards arahantship. You mentally say, let go, like, I don't want to become Sammasambuddha, I want to become arahantship, also can already. Important is inclination of the mind. Okay, next one.
Yeah, okay, next question is also from the chat, from Mr. and Mrs. Leong. Can anyone in this lifetime, in this materialistic world, attain arahantship like Bahiya?
Okay, so Bahiya, because he practiced 100,000 kappa eons, right? 100,000 kappa eons as a Mahasavaka, as a how to call great disciple. So he has practiced 10 parami to certain degree already, and also he made a vow in his previous life when he expired. In his previous life, he aspired to become the fastest person to become arahant. He made a vow in his past life. After he made a vow to become the fastest person to become arahant, then Buddha gave him, the previous Buddha, not the Gautama Buddha, the previous Buddha give him sure prediction, give him definite prediction, telling him that in coming Gautama Buddha's time, you will be the one, you will be the fastest one to become arahant. So that is his condition in the past. But nowadays, can you, anyone in this lifetime attain arahantship like Bahiya? I think not possible. Because people like Bahiya is Savaka is great disciples. Nowadays we don't have great disciple. We only have ordinary disciple. Okay, and during Buddha's in Abhidhamma, in the Puggala Paññatti, there are 7 books of Abhidhamma. One of the books is called Puggala Paññatti, about individual one. Puggala means individual. So according to this book, Puggala Paññatti, there are 4 types of person. The first type of person, like Bahiya, when the moment he listen to few verses from the Buddha, he will become Arahant. And according to this Puggala Paññatti, this type of person no more exists nowadays. Only exists during Buddha's time. The second type of person, they have to listen to Buddha's teaching few times. They say no, he has to listen to Buddha's teaching a little bit longer discourse. Then he can become Arahant. Not like Bahiya, so short discourse. He have to listen to little bit longer discourse for a few days. Then he can become Arahant. This type of person, according to Puggala Paññatti, is not exist in this world. And the third type of individual is, this individual has to keep listening to Buddha's, has to keep listening to Dhamma talk again and again about the 4 noble truths, about the 4 foundation of mindfulness, and so on, about the 3 characteristics, and so on, and practice many days. Practice many days, even many months and many years. Then they can become Arahant. And the 4th type of people, no matter how hard they practice, they cannot become Arahant, they cannot become noble one, but they are cultivating parami only. Wait until next life, then they can become noble one. Therefore, from the statement given by Abhidhamma, I can say there's no such person in this lifetime like Bahiya. Okay, next one.
Finally, it's already 10:06. Do you still want to take these 2 questions?
Okay, can only 2 questions I can.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so from YL on, is Savaka body appeared at Buddha time?
There are 3 types of Savaka body. Which Savaka body? Right? There are 3 types of Savaka body. So next question.
Okay, from Brother Teck Wee. Is Buddhism philosophy consistent with quantum physics? Is multi-dimensional world consistent with Buddhism?
So to answer your question, I have to understand quantum physics first. Otherwise, I cannot answer you, right? So, but as I heard from the YouTube, that quantum physics is very close to Buddha's teaching. But how close, how related, I have to study quantum physics first. Only then I can answer you. But I want to end my my sharing. I would like to tell you one story. When I was in Miami, America, then I give a talk about Abhidhamma, about material, because Abhidhamma consists 4: mind, consciousness, mental factors, and materiality, and Nibbana, these 4. So Abhidhamma consists these 4 paramattha, ultimate truth. So when I talk about materiality, according to Abhidhamma, one of my students, among the listener, one of my student is professor he majored in material, like what I share in the Abhidhamma. So after I finished talking about the material, which material, the material can produce rupa kalapa and can produce like particles. And these particles can travel, that inside the particles, there's also analysis. Each particle also consists 8 elements again and again, and this particle can travel. And so on and so on. And after my talk, this who is professor and major in material was very shocked. He came to me and tell me that what he studied in material as his major is so close to Abhidhamma that I have shared. So he was so shocked. How come 2,600 years ago, Buddha already know all these things? And now, what he studied is very tally with the Buddha's teaching. So he was so shocked. And my student, the professor, he is one of the scientists that invited by NASA, American NASA, the space one, to investigate why one of the rocket, destroy before reach the destination. So he is one of the scientists invited by NASA and tell me that the material he studied is very close to Buddha's teaching. But the quantum physics, I don't know. I need to study first before I can answer you. Okay, that's all for my sharing. Okay, please hold a palm. Let us share merit with others. Etavata cha ammehi sampadang punya sampadang sappe deva sappe bhutta sappe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti sijiya akasata cha bummatha deva nagamahidika punyatang anumoditva cirang rakhantu sasanang cirang rakhantu desanang cirang rakhantu mang parang. Next one is make aspiration. Whatever good deed you do, you make aspiration to attain Nibbana, right? Idang me punyang nibbanasang pacayo Hotu mama punya bagang sabba sattanang bhajeni te sabe me samang punya bagang labantu sadhu sadhu sadhu. May all of you be well and happy.